Thank you so much. As you just heard, I've been exposed to teaching and education for quite a number of years, and only 13 of those years I was exposed to English, and that means that I was in Leersdorp. We had a dual medium school with only 40% of those learners English. So you must bear with me this afternoon because it's not for self-defense. It's really a privilege to be here and to speak to you about what we did or what we are doing at school. Over 34 years, 5 curriculums. You can't imagine that you survive 5 curriculums, but that's what teachers are made of, for and of. They can survive anything that comes to them. That's been thrown to them. But the thing with teaching and teachers is that you always knew something is on its way. That's a small little stone that's dropped in a dam, so you know about something is on its way. And you hope that that ripple will eventually go away, but it doesn't go away in education. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and before you know it, it's on your doorstep, and you have to be ready for that. And that is how we're trying to do what we're doing every day. The comprehensive sexuality education came as a shock to most of our teachers. How are we going to do this? Meneer, nie ek nie. Ek sê, juffrou, jy moet. Meneer, ek kan nie. En dan is dit agter die maas, she's blushing, en juffrou, hoekom bloos jy? Okay, I've got a good relationship with my teachers, and I think having a good relationship with your teachers, knowing what their strengths are and knowing what they are comfortable of doing is very important, because doing that, you're putting the right person in the right space. We do have, coming back to this topic just now, in natural science, there's also, in grade 7, there's also a biological education aspect of sexuality education. And we do have a teacher who's very comfortable of doing this. I spoke to him this morning, and yeah, it's just natural. But putting that another teacher in the same age group, in that same environment, it's different. And what happened when I started at Hugorist, I had complaints from parents about what are we teaching, not about the teacher, but what are we teaching. And that was only natural science. That wasn't life life orientation as we do have now. But as we moved on and we tried to adapt to this environment that is changing around us, we also learn how to do this. There's a lot of publishers in the teaching environment, in the education environment. I count more or less 11 publishers, and each of them are writing the same core message in the textbooks. But some of them, the context differs slightly. So it makes it difficult to choose the correct a book. Ryan just asked me how often do we change books in school? Every 4 years, because we have the opportunity to do this, and we can choose our own books. But there's a lot of people of schools in South Africa that don't have that opportunity. And that's where the problem arises when teaching these kind of topics in class. So from my opinion, and as you heard, that I like to be alternative. I like to do something the other way around. I would rather go back to a specific society, which is our school now, and I will learn what this society is about, and then I will develop, we as a team, as a school staff, will develop values for our school. And that's what we did. And the values that we developed, that we are focusing on is respect, responsibility, caring, citizenship, fairness, and reliability. So that is our 6 basic pillars. And it's shown all over the school terrain. And we work with colors, purple, red, orange. So we do it with bright colors. And all the children can see these values every day. It's before they get into class, if they go to the bathroom, if they go to, just walking on a schoolyard during break times, it's naturally being part of them. So we took those values and then we incorporate those values in our curriculum. Not only in life orientation, but all over the whole curriculum. And we try to teach the learners by ways of teachable moments. So if we come back to sexuality education, a grade 4 learner walking, a boy, who stands up in class when the teacher gets into class. If it's only one boy, the teacher will make an effort of saying to that boy, "Wow, you're a gentleman." That is how it's done. And isn't that basically what is supposed to happen all over our country, our town, our communities? So that teachable moment is very important to us in our school. When getting to textbooks, and that's really a problem. The content of the first couple of books that we received, or examples that we received, it was very explicit, and we couldn't, or I couldn't, see that the grade 4 or the grade 5 learner being exposed to that. That was my opinion. Just to track a bit back, I think it was in 2009, I was principal at Villiers-Dorp, and somehow the Department of Education, they came there with textbooks. It was like a coloring page book, and it was all about AIDS. And I opened a book, the written content was good, but then eventually you get to sketches. And I know my pupils, and I know them, especially in the grade 7 class, because I was teaching as a maths in grade 7 and life orientation as well. So I thought, I can't do this. And you know what I did? I took all those books one afternoon and I crammed it. Those 2 pages, they can't open it. But that's the other thing what happened. Now I hand out a book and it's crammed. The curiosity of the learners. They start opening it. So I said, no, tear it out, that's fine. We'll make some money with the paper that we can throw away. So yeah, what we as a school management team will do for our teachers is that when this specific content gets to you, we will evaluate it. First as a school management team, and then we will. So there's a lot of work that's going into that specific area of you must actually read through that content, and you must be comfortable with that content before we can give it to a teacher. And then again, as I said about this grade 7 teacher, we can't always rely on that one teacher to do all these nie lekker goed nie. We need to take into account the teachers' personalities. We need to take into account their religious observances and also their personal values. And getting back to the alternative way of teaching, I was the one that implemented a progressive approach of the CAPS curriculum in the school a couple of years ago. If you know the CAPS curriculum, you will see that grade 4, week 5, in the second term, they do, for example, fractions. But in grade 6, they will do subtraction, normal subtraction. So what I did is I progressively let the curriculum roll over from the one grade to another grade. So on the same date and same week, they all do this fraction chapter. So in the whole school is on the same page, basically. The same with this as well. We follow a progressive approach according to this value, not value-based, but the sexuality education. So in grade 4, we will focus, according to our values, on a specific area. And then we will go over to grade 5, which is appropriate for grade 5, which is appropriate for grade 6, and then for grade 7. I had an incident a couple of weeks ago with 3 grade 7 learners, girls. They formed a WhatsApp group, and they had a sexually connotation to the name of the group. So, and then I became aware of frightening messages from the one girl. She's not happy with life anymore and that kind of stuff. So what I did, I get these girls into my office with the grade 7, with a female teacher and as well as a male teacher, and have a discussion with them. And afterwards I had a discussion with the whole group. But in that specific moment, I became aware of the just help you with that one, naivete of the grade 7 learners. Some of them are aware of what is going on, and some of them don't have a clue. So these 3 girls, 2 of them was quite aware of what was the group's name, and the 3rd one doesn't have a clue what am I talking about. So keeping that in mind when developing these programs, it makes it very difficult. It's not an easy task to develop this in the primary school. But yes, alternative ways of doing it, there's a lot of ways of doing this. The responsibilities starts with the teacher up to the school management team and me as the principal. And the buck stops with me. And that is the other thing that I always tell my staff. Don't worry about what I'm asking you to do. I know we will do the best thing for the children in the school. If the department do have a problem with this, they have to sort the problem out with me. And I'm the accountable officer in the school. So they won't fire you, they won't harass you or anything, and if they do that, they must come through my office. So by saying that, I'm feeling strong about certain things in school, in the education sector, and I will never let my staff be the one that needs to pay for what I ask them to do. Thank you for that. If there's any questions, you're welcome.
In designing the curriculum or choosing a curriculum?
Okay, we will get the parents involved. We had our parents involved when we developed the value program. That was 4 years ago, or 5 years ago, yes. And so we said to them, this is what is coming to us, this is what we need to do. How do you want us to present this to your children in class? So we make them part of the whole program. Not all of the parents. We make it was of their own free will, but we nominate a certain amount of a certain group of parents. By saying that, I knew that one is going to ask questions. So I invite that specific parent to this forum.
Do you have a safety system built in for if any of the topics, reveal some things that needs intervention or therapy in the kids?
Oh yes, yeah. I always tell the learners, if you are uncomfortable with anything happening to you, And you can go and ask my teachers at school, you're welcome to do so. If you're uncomfortable of anything that anybody is telling you or saying to you, you come to my office. My office door is always open. That is the one way. The other thing that we do have at school, we started with an internship program in 2015. We now do have 13 interns in our school, which is students. Now, normally the learners has a much easier way relating to the interns, the student, because they're much younger. And so they are also briefed for anything that is not appropriate or where there's danger light or red lights going on. They must inform us as teachers, and they will inform me as well. Yeah, but sometimes things might slip, but that is the things that we build in the school.
Is your alternative life orientation program available?
Available. It's always available. I can give you our core value systems and how it works, and you can work from that. I will give it to, yes, I can send it to you. And you can make it available, it's free, it's no problem. Thank you so much.